In this video series for CEN and CENELEC members, we discuss bridging the gap between standardization and research. Welcome to the fourth video in this series. Here we focus on communication barriers between the worlds of standardization and research. Listen to this typical conversation.
Hello, I'm from the National Research Institute. We're preparing a proposal for a Horizon 2020 call, and I need to develop something related to standardization.
Right. Well, you could develop an EN, but if that's too ambitious, how about a TS? We could also take it to the BT or develop a CWA, but that would have to be approved by CEN or CENELEC, of course. Is this the first time you've contacted us?
Well, yes. So, do you have a pick? It's just we only have a short time to hand in our proposal, and our NCP advised us to contact you. So, how many PM do you require? We'll need your input for the DOA.
Okay.
See what I mean? Standardizers and researchers often speak completely different languages. But if you want to collaborate, you'll have to communicate. Let's give them another chance.
Hello, I'm from the National Research Institute. We're preparing a proposal for a Horizon 2020 call, and I need to develop something related to standardization.
Hello. Thank you for getting in touch with us. We are a standards body, so you've come to the right place. What ideas for standardization have you had already? Do you have anything specific in mind?
Not yet. We use standards sometimes in our research projects, but this is the first time we're actually planning to contribute to standardization. Have you participated in a research project before? If so, can you provide us with your pick? We'll also need your input for the DOA and how many PM you'll require.
No problem. Let me make sure that I understand you correctly. PIC is Participant Identification Code, right? And PM stands for Person Months. I will give you the input for the description of action as soon as possible. You know, in the standardization world, DOA means Date of Announcement.
Aha! I can see how that would lead to misunderstandings.
Let's move on to some other issues where people often have the wrong idea. The timescale for developing standards is one of them.
I've heard that standardization is a very time-consuming process. Is this true?
It used to take a long time to develop a standard. Now we can do it in half the time.
Oh dear. That's a standardizer thinking in documents. She automatically assumes that a standard has to be drafted. But integrating standardization in a research project can happen in many ways. If you start with the researcher's needs, it could be that advice, a strategy, or another type of document is the best solution for him or her. And even if a new standard needs to be created, perhaps the researcher can join an existing technical committee instead of starting from scratch. The ideal solution will always be particular to the researcher and the project. And the earlier in the research project you start focusing on standardization, the greater the benefits. Because there's another issue to consider early on.
And what about funding?
What funding? We've already set up our budget and allocated it to our research activities.
Well, part of the project funding should be reserved for standardization activities. Standardization is a joint effort, so all partners involved in this, including us, put in a certain amount of time, staff, and other resources. This needs to be taken into account when preparing the project budget from the very start.
For two people to understand each other, they need to speak the same language. Each needs to be aware of the work the other is doing and to exchange information frequently. That's why standards bodies have to cross the bridge to the research community.